Welcome everyone, Adam the Woo here. Pre-registration the day before Dragon Con officially begins, and I, as with many others, have congregated, made the pilgrimage here to downtown Atlanta to pick up my badge and prepare for the festivities of the weekend to begin. It's my second channel, daily vlog channel. It's TheDailyWoo. The early bird gets the worm, or in this case, tickets. I've learned in recent years to get here the day before, because tomorrow the line will be insane. As you can see, not too terribly bad. You can compare this to the following days. If you've ever been to this particular convention, you know how absolutely wild it can get. And
a pocket program if you want over here.
I am now adequately equipped with my guides and programs. These come in handy. Mission accomplished. Because of entering the Sheraton, I now have in my possession a fully armed and operational laminate. Now you're probably asking yourself, what the heck is Dragon Con? Will I see any dragons? Well, you might see, but it's more or less a clever name. Originated in 1987 and has grown into one of the largest pop culture conventions anywhere in the world, or at least in the United States. Started off with just under 2,000 people and has grown to nearly 80,000 people. Last year, I believe the total was 77,000 folks. And the first thing I notice as I walk in the Hilton is, wow, this entire area has been completely revamped. There used to be a Starbucks in past years over here in this corner. It's been removed. And over in this area where the snack bar is located now, used to be couches where I would plug my phone in and take little naps. They're gone. Even the publicly accessible computers that used to sit here have been removed. But hello.
Hello.
Are you serving coffee? Are you the
no name.
Oh, you were hanging out by the caffeine. I totally get where he's coming from. This more or less started as a gaming conglomeration of people who were fans of board games, kind of like Dungeons and Dragons, D&D, for those who know what that is, and it has grown into this mecca of everything. Every kind of mishmashed pop culture, horror, comic books, anything and everything, a lot of cosplay, and it's all intertwined in half a dozen different hotels. It's pretty fantastic. Oh yeah. Now this is awesome. A public call box. Free to use. I don't know though. Is this really a telephone? Could be. Or is it something else? Most of the hotels are connected by these above the road corridors. Take a good gander because this is about the most empty it's going to be over the entire weekend. I'm now heading up the escalator into what is probably the most recognizable of all the locations at this event. Look at that. These stanchions have no earthly clue what they are in for. Those particular ones are nicknamed Louis. And as you can tell, even though it has not officially begun, don't tell it to everyone that's already here, because in their minds, oh yes, it has whoa, look, there's an alien down there. And he seems to have abducted Grumpy Cat. What? Come back with him! Come back with him! Come back with him! There were some very clever outfits in recent past of people who would go into stealth mode and they would slither across the carpets in disguise. You couldn't see them. They were in camouflage. Well, the hotel has thrown everyone for a loop and completely changed the carpeting. Sad trombone moment. Whap, 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 whap. New carpet. What's going on over here?
Roger.
Is that his name, Roger?
R0GR.
RZ. Oh, I totally see what you did there. Illuminated in all its glory, I have entered inside the Hyatt Regency, which is also another impressive structure. One day I'd like to stay on site at one of the host hotels, but truth be told, they sell out pretty dang quick, sometimes even almost a year before the event. Staying near the airport is about a third of the price. It just kind of makes a little more sense. But then again, if you're dressing up in 2 or 3 outfits a day, I could see where being slightly closer to the action has its benefits. As warm as it is, it would be prime swim time. But don't get your hopes up. They have blocked off every single pool in the area, most likely because the crowds will be so intense, and throw some alcohol in the mix. They're just being on the safe side. The purpose of this particular vlog is not to concentrate on the expansive amount of cosplay that will be here throughout the rest of the weekend. It's basically just to show a little behind the scenes, a little pre-convention look inside, a little tidbit into what it's like to get here when you can actually walk around. You don't even need a badge or a ticket or a lanyard or a laminate to enjoy this the day before the event actually starts. You could just call this a teaser, just a sample of what's to come. Oh my gosh, look at this. Is that Macho Man? In the nearly half a decade I've been coming out here, hard to believe. Half a decade, this is the start of the half a decade experience. I have learned my way around here. I've learned a thing or two about the layout of the land. I'm not an expert by any means, but I'm also no longer a novice. Traffic moving in at a pretty decent rate down the freeway from downtown. And if you've ever seen any photos of all the cosplayers merging into one area, they usually are here along this stairwell. And since it is the calm before the storm, I'll show what I brought. My backpack, my checkerboarded backpack, conceals the camera that I'm going to be using, which is the Canon 70D. I have a little wind mic on there that I reverse side to side, whether I'm filming front facing or back facing. I also have my zoom lens, which I could use to the full advantage, and different batteries, accessories, my extra Manfrotto for my phone that I'm holding, and just in case everything else doesn't work out, I have my half-broken G7X, which works, but it will not turn off. I have to remove the battery to get it to turn off completely. That's what I'm using. Obviously, I'm filming with my phone now just to show it off, but all day and most of the weekend, I'll be using the Canon 70D. Looks as if crowd control is in full swing. The caution tape is being laid. Here's a quick run through of all the different areas that are here. The Walk of Fame, which is where the celebrities will be sitting, is at the Marriott Marquis in the ballroom. The America's Mark building, floor 1, is the first level of the vendor room. But then you go to the second floor, and if that's not enough for your purchasing merchandise needs, there is a third floor. Continuing on, we have the Hyatt Regency, the Grand Hall East and West. You can see all the different tables that will be set up in there. The Embassy level of the Hyatt Regency. Over here is the ballroom level. Flipping through a little bit more, we have the Conference Center level and the Exhibit level. There's just so much. Now we're over to the Marriott Marquis on that level, and opposite is the International level. All this is part of the convention, including the Atrium level, which is open to wander around in, as is the full lobby experience. There's also the Hilton, that's the first floor, and there's also something called the Galleria level. And that's not all. We just continue to turn the pages. Third floor of the Hilton, second floor of the Hilton will be congregations of people. Wow, there's just, I can't even get over how many different places there are. And here's a layout of the 7 properties. The Sheraton down here in the bottom corner, the Hilton, the Marriott Marquis Atlanta, the Hyatt Regency, and the 2 vendor rooms, America's Mart Building 1 and 2, the MARTA, which is basically the subway system, and the Westin Peachtree. There's also a smartphone app that you can just browse through. You never are confused about where you need to be. You just scroll through and it tells you what's going on at each location on each day, hour by hour. Safe and sound now on the good old 47th floor And I say that with a veritable grain of salt, because look at that. Oh man. Put the zoom lens on just so you can get a little bit better perspective on just how far down that is. Close your eyes if you're scared of heights. Just close them. Whatever you do, don't look down. This place always reminds me of the inside of a body, like a skeleton. And the more people that congregate in here, the more it starts to breathe life inside it. Right now is not a good example because it is not at its full potential. But over time, over the next few days, this whole area will be pumped full of energy. A living, breathing beast. It almost looks like a face. You can see the mouth and the eyes, and that's a beast. I had no idea that Jawas were chess champions. I wonder what he's thinking right now. I wonder what's going through his mind as he makes a move, and now he's retaliating. A lot of thinking going on around that board. No way. It's Gorn. It's Gorn. I heard Shatner's around. I heard Shatner's here. Beware of Shatner. He's gonna be here. Beware of Shatner. Took the elevator down to the nether region level of the Hilton to a tiki bar by the name of Trader Vic's. They have a vast assortment of paraphernalia that you can purchase specifically for this specific location. And I have my eye on that Aloha mug. It seems to be a very popular place tonight. Something's a-brewing in there. Brewed by fire. And look over to the left. There's a stormtrooper head and a Deadpool with the chef's cap on. This place was even mentioned in a cartoon strip, Doonesbury. I met her dumpster diving behind Trader Vic's. I picked this up, not for me, but a friend of mine really likes collecting tiki mugs from different places, and he did not have one from that particular place, so I got him one as a little gift.
Got a hug.
So far, everyone seems pretty friendly around these parts. Everyone seems pretty friendly around here.
It's the Beastie Boys. This is called creative camera work.
Night has fallen, and I think I'm gonna call it a day. This weekend is going to be quite the extravaganza of fun. I'll see you tomorrow. Vlog over.